Starting from this video, we're going to get into the second unit of heap performance optimization. So similar to the previous unit, let's start this unit by analyzing the scarcest GPU resources. For resources, in the previous unit, we have been discussing the block dispatcher, wavefront slot, registers, and computing ALUs. But other than computing resources, the memory side is also very important to the performance of a GPU program. So the goal of this unit is to analyze the performance of the memory system and find the best way to tune the application to better utilize the memory system. Before we start to talk about any concrete method, let's try to understand some theoretical background about the roofline model and to identify a performance bottlenecks of the GPU. And typically in GPUs, we consider the most important resources are the computing ALUs and the memory bandwidth. And we need to analyze how an application can utilize those two resources. So we come up with a concept called arithmetic intensity. So we consider the number of operations. Typically we consider floating point operations. How many operations that we need to perform in the whole kernel. And also we need to consider number of bytes that is loaded from the memory as represented by letter Q. And the arithmetic intensity I is represented by the ratio between W and Q, which can be explained by how many operations I need to perform for every byte of data that is loaded from the memory. So we can draw an axis on arithmetic intensity in the logarithm scale. We start from 1/4 to 1/4 1 all the way to 128. So if the number is 1, that means we need to perform one operation for every byte that we loaded from the memory. And at the same time, we also consider the GPU hardware. For each GPU device, there is typically a constant memory bandwidth and theoretical computing throughput. For example, if we assume this GPU has a memory bandwidth of 256 GB per second and a computing throughput of 10 teraflops per second, we can basically start to draw points on this graph using the G flops as the y-axis. For example, assuming if we have a workload that it has an arithmetic intensity of 1/4, that means for every 4 bytes of data, we perform one operation. And in this case, which resources is bounded? It's actually bounded by the memory bandwidth. We can only load data by 256 GB per second, so the achievable gigaflops is only 64. As we keep drawing this figure, assuming the arithmetic intensity is half, then at this time, the achievable gigaflops is 128. And we can keep drawing this figure until this point. For every byte of data that we loaded from the memory, we need to perform 8 operations. In this case, if we load 256 GB of data, we perform 2 teraflops operations. So at this point, we get a balance. We both fully utilize the bandwidth and the teraflops. Then, as we keep increasing the arithmetic intensity, we fully utilize the compute throughput, but we cannot fully utilize the memory bandwidth. Then we have a roofline plot, looks like this. We have 2 segments of this curve. For the first segment, we have beta I, which is a slope. The slope beta represents the memory bandwidth. And on the second segment, it's a flat region. We have the height of this region equals to pi, which is the theoretical computing throughput. In general, every point on this line is an ideal case. Only the most ideal workloads can achieve this line. Most workloads will fall below this line. So we can represent the roofline by using this representation. The roofline value P equals the minimum of pi and beta I. And if we look at the turning point, it's a special point. We call it the AI, the arithmetic intensity of the GPU itself, were represented by P prime, which equals to pi divided by beta. So assuming if we have some workload that falls in this region, they have a arithmetic intensity that is smaller than the GPU arithmetic intensity. In this case, they're bounded by the memory bandwidth of the GPU, and they're not bounded by the computing capability of the GPU. We call them memory-intensive workload. So when we say memory-intensive workload, that means if we increase the memory bandwidth of that GPU, the application will improve performance. But if we improve the compute throughput, the performance of the workload will not change much. And for some other workload that are on the right side of this P prime line, we say their workload arithmetic intensity is larger than the GPU's arithmetic intensity and their compute intensive workload. The overall goal of optimizing a GPU program is to improve the ALU utilization. For every workload, there's always a gap between the ideal ALU utilization and the achieved ALU utilization, represented by these utilization gaps in this figure. So what are the general rules of improving the ALU utilization? So the general rule is we want to move the application AI towards the GPU AI. So we can both utilize the memory bandwidth and the compute throughput. For this memory bandwidth and throughput, you can basically look up in the datasheet or find the specs of a particular GPU that you are using. For example, for this MI100 GPU, we can easily find this single precision floating point numbers as 23.07 teraflops per second and the memory bandwidth to be 1229 GB per second. And in our example code, we provide a script that can draw this roofline model for you, which takes the ROC profiler output as the input to draw those dots on the graph. So starting from next video, we're going to introduce some concrete method to better utilize the memory system and to move the points from the left side towards the right side.